Welcome, everyone, to this afternoon workshop. My name is LEVENTE, and I work at the National Translation Office as a reviser and a translation technologist. And today's topic is ChatGPT, and as you can use it as a translation engine and as a translator assistant, if you like. Okay. First, let me give you just a quick overview of what a CAT tool is and how it was impacted by the emergence of machine translation first, and then the AI. Yeah, this is Trado Studio, so one of the just one CAT tool. And if you really boil it down to the very essence of what a CAT tool is, you will find three major components. One is the grid, where actual translation takes place. The source segments contain the text to be translated, and the target segments either empty, and you have to do the translation from scratch, or there is some kind of fuzzy match or context match in it, which you have to revise and polish if there's something in it. Of course, you will have some sort of collection of previous translations stored in a translation memory, some sort of term base, collection of terms usually validated by the customer or retrieved by you from a reliable text. And of course, you may have other collections of know-how, such as QA regulation rules or segmentation rules and other bodies of knowledge that are very useful. And then the third component is, of course, an abundance of productivity features that enhance your workflow as a translator. These include word processing tools, batch tasks that enable you to manipulate multiple files at a time, and analytical tools, reporting tools, and so on and so forth. Okay, so how was this impacted by the emergence of machine translation? Well, machine translation is a language model, as is AI and large language models, but it's text in, text out, really. So you can feed in text, and it will give you back text in another language. It is a one-trick dog, so it can do translation for you, nothing more. But it's quite efficient in it, because it can do it fast and relatively cheaply. Of course, this comes at the cost of limited adaptability. You don't really have much control over the raw output of machine translation. So when doing post-editing, you will be asked to repeatedly edit out the very same mistakes. And these models come at a flat rate, if you like, for a monthly fee, so you can predict the cost you have. With the emergence of MT, of course, various use cases emerged too. Like my user pyramid looks like this. There are the casual users, like you and me, trying to communicate and gather information on the internet in a language that we don't speak. For example, reading some product review in a different language, or trying to book our hotel room in a foreign country, or like living our life in social media and trying to understand posts. A conscious user, MT user, will want more control over the output of machine translation. They will be using some sort of browser-based interface, such as Google Translate, Sistran, or DeepL, if you like. And yeah, they are similar to CAT tools, but they don't offer that abundance of features. But they will do the trick. But we, as professional qualified translators, want to see MT integrated into our CAT tool. So what we do is post-editing, which is relatively the same in terms of workflow as we were used to. So we look at the grid, especially the target segments, and go segment by segment and analyze, compare the text, and edit out all the mistakes and polish the outcome of the machine translation. Okay, this was the developers' take on the problem. They added machine translation as a provider to, you can add a machine translation provider as a translation memory. So nothing new really in terms of the cat, how cat handles this problem. Now let's see the emergence of AI, and a quick note on the term, as of course you've heard before, AI means large language. So whenever I use AI, I refer to large language models, but for the sake of simplicity, I will stick with AI. So you can use, you can think of Google's Gemini, OpenAI's GPT series, and so on and so forth. Okay, so what are the main differences between MT and AI? This is an arbitrary set of aspects, so there are plenty more to compare, but one of the main difference in my view is modality. While MT was text in, text out, AI is really multimodal. You can feed in voice, picture, video, the script, whatever you like, and take out these types of content as well. So formatting is not so much of a problem anymore. It's also multi-purpose, so you can not only use it for translation, but to summarize text, to write script, to help you in creative writing, edit a video, create an image from scratch, etc. Of course, because these are large models, as we've heard, very large models, they are slower and much more expensive than machine translation models. But on the upside, they are highly customizable because they allow us to give instructions in the form of prompts, which was not the case with MT. And of course, in terms of payments or the financial terms, there are monthly-based subscriptions and also usage-based subscriptions, as we will see. The user pyramid is pretty much the same in my view. There is the casual AI user who uses AI practically inadvertently while, for example, doing a simple Google search and only recently having an AI summary on top of the list of results. Or asking a chatbot to help with the thesis you don't want to write. Or just generate something like a meme or other content for your own use. So these are casual use cases. A conscious AI user will experiment more with prompts. They will use slightly integrated or fully integrated models, such as, for example, Microsoft Copilot on the screen. This is a canvas mode. This is dynamic text. You can ask questions to part of the text. Or use the well-known chatbox interface to ask specific questions. But the conscious user would be more precise when formulating the prompt. They will use instructions to summarize, transform. They will be specific. Do this with the following link or the following text, so not in general, but being specific. And of course, specifies the output, the expected output of the request. And also, there are features, for example, search the web. They are aware of these advanced features as well. Professional users will have a clear view of what a prompt is, what the prompt should be structured. They usually started with giving a persona to the model, providing clear context, the input, the output requirements, and many, many rules. So they really restrict the interaction with the model this way. They can even organize their prompts into custom GPTs for the sake of speeding up their workflow. Now, people say that AI is revolutionary, it's disruptive technology. So I expected something revolutionary too in the cat tools, but the Trados Studios developers team, the concept of revolution was this. You can now add AI as an MT too. You can add it to the project. And our workflow was really revolutionized. It looks now like this, pretty much the same. Okay, so I see you get the point, and Trados developers also well, thought this was a bit less than revolutionary. So they created quickly an AI assistant, which is not much useful, really. So it's rather a dumb assistant than a smart assistant. Okay, so let's see the main pitfalls of API-based AI usage. Whenever we speak about using AI, in my view, there are two kinds of use cases. So either you use the chat box in a conversational style, you ask questions, you interact with the model through conversation. That's the most typical one. Or you use it in an embedded way, in an integrated way. That's when API comes into the picture, because service providers sell APIs for a fee, for a usage-based fee. So if you want to use AI or MT in your CAT tool, you will pay as much as you use it. But whenever you channel AI into your CAT tool, you will have a restricted usage of the models. So you will kind of lose all the much of the benefits that AI offers, for example, in the chat interface. MTP, in terms of post-editing, you will find out that you will have to repeat all those annoying edits every segment because the MT or the AI you use for translation is not aware what you did in the first segment. That's really annoying. And of course, the more advanced the model you use, the more expensive it gets. So if you use GPT 3.5, that's kind of free or practically free. But if you want to have access to the latest GPT 5 model, that's going to be really expensive. So my conclusion, when you use AI as MT in a CAT tool, you get the flaws of MT without the benefits of AI. Okay, now let me propose a workflow that is readily usable for anyone who has a CAT tool installed on their computers and have a ChatGPT subscription. You will need a CAT tool, a ChatGPT. You will have to upload your reference files, including your source files, and you will be using evolving custom instructions. Let me explain. So if you have a ChatGPT account, you will be familiar with this interface. You will have the left side pane, and you will have projects. You will want to start a new project. You can customize it to differentiate between, from other projects. And the main thing is that this project view allows you to upload files that it will handle as context. So practically, you will be uploading your source files as a whole, and as well as some reference files that you will find useful throughout the translation process. Also, here, you can add instructions. That's where the prompt goes. So you will have an initial prompt, which might be just a few lines long, like do the translations, I will do this, you will do that. Be aware that these are my preferences, and so on. And then as you continue to use this method for post-editing or preparing your raw machine output, you will find out that your insights can be incorporated into this prompt. So your rules will become more elaborate. You can add terms that, for example, are very essential for the translation project, and so on. So the actual workflow looks something like this. You create the CAT project and open it in editor view. Then select the first few segments, like 2 paragraphs, for example, that you can handle at one go when doing the post-edit. Copy it to the chat box of ChatGPT. Let ChatGPT do its thing, and then copy it back to this target segment. And then do the MTP, and you will immediately find that this, in terms of quality, at least, because it's much slower, of course, than the automated alternative. In terms of quality, it's way more reliable, coherent, and consistent. And then, when you did the empty the post-editing, you can refine your prompt with your insights. Yes, that's copy-paste, heavy copy-pasting, but a decent translator already has copy-paste shaped fingers. Okay, so the proposed translation workflow has some serious downsides, but it has upsides too. So the prompts, it really helps eliminate the segment focus, because you no longer stand your whole text in broken down to segments, but you send it, you uploaded the whole text as a context, so it knows what it is doing with it. You have an evolving and recyclable prompt, because you know, you are constantly refining it with your insights, and once you've done a project, you can recycle it to your next project, which is a great you know, advantage from the start. This way you will always have access to the most advanced large language model, not only the cheapest one or the most you know, cost-efficient one. And for a fee subscription, so you can predict your cost. On the downside, of course, there's the copy-paste, but let's skip that. And of course, you have to set up 2 parallel projects all the time, one in the CAT tool, another one in the browser, in the ChatGPT. And of course, there are, in some cases, especially in bigger and more complicated projects, you will find that the translation memory is not accessible for you to just add to a ChatGPT project, and the same goes to the term base. So you have limited access to those resources. Okay, so why still using CAT if ChatGPT can do the thing for me? Well, as I mentioned, the 2 other my main problem is with the grid. The grid offers really, it is really like it used to be for, I don't know, 30 years or so. But okay, so in CAT you have the resources and the productivity tools. Those are really, really important. For example, if I want to filter certain segments and handle the very similar segments at a time, I'm using filtering, and that's a very advanced tool. And the very same goes to resources that I mentioned, so I have to stick with CAT tool for the time being, but if I may suggest something to developers, I will really give a facelift to the grid. Okay, maybe a canvas type grid will do. Yeah, this is, for example, Microsoft's Copilot take on the problem. You have dynamic text, so this is the same way DeepL handles whole contexts. So you can ask questions and send requests specifically on certain parts of the text, not segment by segment, but treating the whole text as a whole. So dynamic text would be nice to have. This way, or this approach, would allow the user to have suggestions from the model working in the background. So, for example, if I make a correction in segment number 1, and there is the very same mistake in segments number 10 and 12, it would suggest the corrections automatically because it handles the whole text, you know, as a whole. And of course, if they already recognize my editing pattern, they could input or put it in my prompt. So in the next round of translation preparation, those mistakes won't be included in the first place. And this goes to the AI assistant, which is not fully useful now, but could be much, much more if it weren't restricted to segment basis level. Oh yes, and not only the editor view has the grid, but also the TM maintenance view, which is a really laborsome work right now, because it's well, the most abandoned place to spend your time in. So if you had some canvas type approach to TM upkeep and QA, that would be really nice too. And yeah, basically that's my proposition to CAT developers. And I know this is not really valid in all the cases to MemoQ, because my examples were reflecting Trados Studio. but I will be really curious to see and hear your take on the problem. Thanks.